A K-Nation episode with a little bit of everything.
We have an awesome crew of returning players.
It takes 2-3 years to actually get this one.
Another busy week on the court in a chaotic conference.
It's going to take a special effort by somebody to win.
Persevering and making plays late.
But also, we take you to the diamond.
Expect to work hard, expect that you're going to get better.
And to the water.
You feel like you've actually produced something, and that's what this program's about.
Paying homage to the past and excitement for the future.
Get ready to feel a wide range of emotions on K-Nation tonight.
We didn't finish plays, and they did.
Just kept working hard, making those adjustments.
Got a text telling Gary that he was the adult and he needs to act like it.
It all begins right now.
K-Nation, sponsored by 988 Suicide and Crisis Lifeline.
Tonight on K-Nation, she is the definition of an impact transfer. Wildcat guard Ziana Walker joins the show, and we find out how does she just keep hitting these huge shots.
And Jayhawk basketball with a start to Big 12 play that doesn't quite meet their standards. We'll hear from Hunter Dickinson and bring in Rock Chalk Sports Talk's Nick Springer to break down where the Jayhawks must get better.
Plus, former Wildcat Sean Snyder is moving on after just one season with KU football. We'll tell you why and what's next for the veteran college coach. Welcome to K-Nation. I'm Lainey Gerber.
I'm Glenn Kinley. As you saw, we got a jam-packed episode for you tonight. So many sports to get to. Football kind of rules the world, at least in our neck of the woods. But we're going to start with basketball. People care a lot about that, too. The 7th-ranked Jayhawks start the week with a home win over Cincinnati, and that included a 23-point double-double for new starter Johnny Furphy. His parents came to the game from Australia, Lainey, and he balled out with mom and dad in the crowd. Yesterday, though, well, we're just very thankful that neither the Jayhawks or Wildcats go to Hilton Coliseum the rest of the season. Thank goodness. Kansas falls at number 23, Iowa State, a game where the Cyclones hit a season-high 14 three-pointers, but this is just the start of a really, really tough conference slate. Hunter Dickinson tells us where they got to get better.
Not be discouraged by the loss because, it is a tough place to play, but also, it's going to get harder down this stretch. If we keep dropping games like this, there's the winner of this league will probably only have 5 losses, and so that gives us about 2 more. We got to try to go on a run here and string some wins together.
The Hawks are 16-4 now, 4-3 in Big 12 play. There are no easy games in this conference. However, last place Oklahoma State comes to Lawrence on Tuesday. From there, though, well, don't even look at the schedule. It's brutal. It's terrifying. It's one of the toughest in college hoop. But the Jayhawks probably will find a way to win a lot of those games.
Just ranked opponent after ranked opponent.
Yeah, they're all good. In that big Monday game, at halftime of that one against Cincinnati, the Jayhawks honored the late Bill Skinny Johnson by retiring his number 33 jersey and putting it in the rafters. His son, Bill Jr., who you see on your screen now, was there along with a bunch of other family members to accept the honor. And Skinny Johnson was a 2-time first-team all-conference player under Fog Allen in the 1930s. Honoring the past and also looking ahead to the future, Jayhawk fans, get excited about this guy. KU commit Flory Bidunga. He's in the class of 2024, and this week he was named a McDonald's All-American. He's one of just 24 players in the country out of a pool of over 700 nominees to be selected. He's the 51st Jayhawk to achieve this honor. Bidunga is a senior at Kokomo High School in Indiana.
Well, the Wildcats had about as tough of a 2-game stretch in college basketball that you can come by. At number 23, Iowa State, and it was a lot closer than the final score shows. Cats get a 78-67 loss. Then yesterday, they get a 74-52 loss at number 4, Houston.
Houston's ridiculous.
Yeah, and they held off K-State. K-State kind of struggled to get into that game. There is good news about yesterday's big loss, though, and that is that it is very easy to sweep under the rug and move on from.
This is a very resilient team with a resilient coaching staff, and like Coach Tank said, it's a one-game season, and we can't duel on this one. We have another good contest coming up on Tuesday. Every game matters in this league. We're going back home, and we're gonna have our crowd behind us. I get excited for that one.
The Cats are 14-6 now, 4-3 in the Big 12. The gauntlet is far from over. They host number 11 OU on Tuesday. And now we're going to address some drama from earlier in the week.
A little Big 12 tea.
Yeah, the KC Star is reporting that K-State was concerned that Iowa State spied on its huddle in Wednesday's game. Cyclone coach TJ Otzelberger responded yesterday and didn't mince any words. That story is on our website, KSNT.com.
Worth your read for sure. Let's talk a little women's hoops now. The number 4 team in the country, that's Jeff Mitty's Wildcats, of course. Big test this week, and that's tests plural with Aoka Lee out. K-State passes both tests, and it's 2 wins in 2 wire-to-wire contests. Huge win at number 13 Baylor. That was earlier in the week, and then a tough game on Saturday in front of 8,000 fans against BYU. They get the home win. Neither team led by more than 5 points in all of that game. The Cats find a way to win despite not hitting a field goal in the final 4 minutes and 30 seconds.
This team has character, and this team believes. And it took every bit of all of those things to win this game today.
I don't think a lot of teams, thought that we could win these big games without Yoki out there. But, I mean, we just have to – everyone's had to step up their game, and I think everyone has to play at a higher level without her out there. That's the best we can do.
Hey, Gabby, we still did think you guys could win without her, by the way.
Yeah, that was not – don't include us in that.
Hey, number 2 and number 3 teams in the country lost this week. The Cats could be climbing in tomorrow's AP poll.
Ooh, the KU women started the week with a big win at home against Iowa State, and the Cyclones are just one of those teams who's going to be in and out of the top 25 this season. Then yesterday, the Jayhawks get a tough loss on the road at Oklahoma. KU had the lead with less than 3 minutes to play. Coach Brandon kept it real with what went wrong yesterday despite that close finish.
I think Wybette Mayberry was outstanding. I thought Zakiya Franklin was good, and Samaya Nichols has been our most consistent player all year long. But we get 6 points out of 2 fifth-year seniors in Jackson and Kerskeeter, and that's not enough to win on the road.
He's not wrong. Kansas is now 10-10, 3-6 in the Big 12. They host BYU on Wednesday.
Well, after just 1 year in Lawrence, Sean Snyder, the son of legendary K-State head football coach Bill Snyder, is moving on. We confirmed with KU Athletics just yesterday that Snyder is no longer on staff with Kansas football. He was hired in March of 2023, served as a special assistant to the head coach for his lone season with the Jayhawks. Snyder plans to launch a kicking and special teams training service. That's his new business, and NCAA restrictions, they don't let you do that, and also coach college football. And you can read more about Snyder's decision at KSNT.com.
All right, well, Big 12 baseball preseason honors are here. Kansas State is picked to finish 5th and boasts 3 preseason all-conference players, including unanimous selection Tyson Neighbors. The league's coaches didn't vote him preseason pitcher of the year, but he did earn that honor from D1Baseball.com.
Meanwhile, the Jayhawks picked to finish 8th in the league and have 2 on the preseason list, including last year's Big 12 Freshman of the Year, Cody Shoji Naga, and the other is Jansen Reeder. Laney, we should talk more about KU baseball.
Well, we have good news.
Right after the break, Laney talked with Coach Fitz and a couple new Jayhawks. We'll hear more from the Jayhawk baseball team. Plus, K-State rowing continuing to add local talent. Why the team is not only okay with unexperienced rowers, but they actually look out for just that.
And still ahead, sit down with one of K-State's rising stars, Diana Walker. She tells us how her passion on the court is pushing the Cats and more.
Car wrecks don't just happen from 9 to 5. If you're in a wreck, we're available 24/7.
Don't wait until tomorrow to get the help you need now. In a wreck, need a check?
Patterson Legal is the way to go. Call 431-0000.
Meaningful relationships built upon trust is a founding principle of the Trust Company. We help individuals and businesses create tailored financial plans and diversified investment strategies that adapt over time to your unique needs. Because we are independent, we can offer flexibility and creativity that many advisors and trust departments can't. If you aren't sure where to start or you're looking to make a fresh start, contact us today for a free consultation.
The 27 News Storm Tracker is sponsored by D.L. Smith Electric, bringing your vision to life.
Every time I wake up and I look out, I'm in awe. I love it.
It's kind of our staycation. We were extremely pleased with the whole process from the bid through the completion of the project. It's just exceptional quality.
It is. It's beautiful.
You could just tell that they were true professional craftsmen.
Let us help make your dream project become a reality. Call today or visit our website. We are your home remodeling specialist.
Jungle House has moved, and we would love to show you around our new digs. Bring a new friend to school with you that will add life to your dorm room or apartment. We have plans for all. Find us at our new location, 6 East 7th Street, Lawrence, Kansas.
Don't miss Masked Singer, a fundraising event at the historic Columbian Theater in Wamego.
Car wrecks don't just happen from 9 to 5. If you're in a wreck, we're available 24/7.
Don't wait until tomorrow to get the help you need now. In a wreck, need a check?
Patterson Legal is the way to go. Call 431-0000.
KU baseball gearing up for year 2 under head coach Dan Fitzgerald. From staff to players, it's a team with very high expectations inside and outside the program.
Yeah, the Jayhawks bring in the nation's top-rated JUCO class, and a bunch of guys are ready to make an impact right away, including a pretty dynamic duo who achieved a lot in junior college ball.
My entire staff, all of us come out of the junior college ranks. And so I think there's a certain connection that we have with those coaches and with those players.
KU baseball has 5 junior college transfers bringing experience to this year's team, including a pitcher and catcher duo from Heartland Community College, Ben Hartle and Reese Dutton.
Like Heartland wins a national championship last year, and Ben was the heart and soul of that team.
Kansas was like my first place. I was going somewhere new. I didn't have any friends. So having him going into this season of my life has been perfect.
We just make each other better, and I love it. I love him.
Reese Dutton was a National Junior College Player of the Year his sophomore year.
He had very good things to say about this place, and that led me to take interest in talking to the coaches and visiting here, and just felt like home.
The coaching staff wasn't around for this year's high school recruiting cycle, so it had to take advantage of bringing some experienced players to the roster.
We're getting guys from these programs that have had success, that have won at a high level, and so their expectation when they walk on the field is to win. Guys like Ben and guys like Reese, you know, those are the type of guys we need, and fortunately the type of guys we're getting.
Things are moving faster in Dan Fitzgerald's second year. The culture he established in year 1 stood out to transfers, like Ben and Reese.
I think that this place is where God was leading me to go.
They're making practice competitive, and the team's ready for the most important part of baseball.
We have a great group, and I'm just excited to start the season and win a lot of ball games.
All right, well, Tuttle Creek in Manhattan is just now melting. There's still snow on the baseball field there, but at least Tuttle Creek is getting ready for rowing season.
The rowers will always be ready. It has stopped them from getting on the water, though, but more time to do some recruiting, and Coach Pat Sweeney's crew doesn't just go after rowers. In fact, they hardly go after rowers at all. Rather, high school athletes that are in really good shape and fit that ideal body type of the athletes they need on their team. Among those this year, Manhattan's Maxine Doring, Siemens Jersey Jellison, and Wabunzi's Sienna Jones, a bunch of local talent. Coach tells us turning beginners into competitors makes his job very fun.
That's the real enjoyment, because it takes 2-3 years to actually get the sport, to actually be really competent at it. So by the time they get into their 3rd year, you're feeling we've done our job, and we really feel good about where they're at. By their 4th, if they're here for 5, they're pretty competitive for anybody in the country. And you feel like you've actually produced something, and that's what this program's about.
And earlier in the month, K-State took a trip down south to Waco, Texas for a rowing camp. Why, Lainey? Because it was about negative 80 degrees in Kansas. Simple answer from Coach.
Yeah, I
would have gone
blame him
south
at all.
too. We can't anchor K-Nation from Waco, or else we might have.
Yeah, definitely. We'll stick around, because if you leave, you're going to have trouble catching up to this next guest. Diana Walker sits down with our own Landon Reinhart for an exclusive interview. She talks guarding Caitlin Clark, her passion playing with the number 4 Cats, and more.
Manhattan Area Technical College will help you build a foundation for your college career, like transferable credits offered in your high school, earning your high school diploma through GED completion on our campus. Breakthrough to a new career. Manhattan Tech, providing higher education.
Batter up at Play It Again Sports. We offer an extensive selection of new and used baseball and softball equipment from Wilson, Easton, Rawlings, Louisville Slugger, DeMarini, String King, Dudley, Mizuno, Marucci, and Nakona. We have custom uniforms. Try before you buy with our indoor batting cage. Bring in your quality used gear to save even more by trading in and trading up, or get cash on the spot. We are buying all day, every day. Play It Again Sports, 21st and Fairlawn in the Fairlawn Plaza Mall.
A texting driver hit me and I had to stop working. I needed help, but the insurance company only offered me this tiny check.
This tiny check won't even cover my medical bills.
After a car wreck, don't take a tiny check from the insurance company. Call me.
I didn't take a tiny check. I called Mike and his team and they got me $250,000.
Don't take a tiny check. Call Mike.
I'm attorney Mike DePasquale. If you've been hurt in a car wreck, call me. I've got this.
Oh, there's something so real about living local. And I know without a doubt I'm not alone. And I'm loving living local. There's nowhere else I'd rather be. KSNT is living local. It's the only kind of air I want to breathe. Northeast Kansas is where I love to be.
Manhattan Area Technical College will help you break through to a high-paying career by empowering you in high-demand fields. Let Manhattan Tech help you break through to a new career. Manhattan Area Technical College, providing higher education.
Welcome back to K-Nation. Now, we spent about all preseason telling you about K-State women's basketball starting five, and then redshirt freshman Zayana Walker burst onto the scene as an X factor with 8 points a game off the bench.
Yeah, we probably should have been talking about her more. She's really, really good. She was the Kansas Gatorade Player of the Year at Wichita Heights in 2021.
Yeah.
K-Nation's Landon Reinhardt has the exclusive interview.
You transfer in from Louisville. When you leave high school, there's a saying, you got to spread your wings and fly. You did that for a year, but then you come back. How fun is it playing in front of your home state?
It's really fun. I really enjoy having my family there at almost every home game. I'm glad that the pieces are coming together and I'm finding my place and building that chemistry with my teammates, and just to see the hard work pay off is great.
Your third ever game in a Wildcat uniform. You're tasked with guarding likely the best player in college basketball right now, Caitlin Clark.
At Louisville, we had played Iowa in the Elite Eight. She had a 40-point triple-double on Louisville. But I learned a lot from the scout, because we scouted her really hard. So I learned a lot. She likes this. If she's going left, she's going to step back. If she's going right, she's going all the way. So I knew that I knew a lot about her game already. So I wanted to take on that task of guarding her for sure.
Your celebration is the mean mug. You hit them with a stank face. You're not jumping up and down crazy, but I'm like that.
I mean, a lot of it's just the passion I have to play the game. It's a competitive sport. At the end of the day, it's all love. But when you're on the court, you got to think that nobody's better than yourself. You got to believe in yourself. So with all those fans being there, and they were talking throughout the game, they were being loud. So it feels good. It felt just really good in that moment to just hear the silence. I just feel like that speaks louder. Because I mean, we're jumping up and crazy, but I feel like we were supposed to beat them. I feel like if you're jumping up and loud at that moment, it's kind of oh yeah, we got lucky. No, we expected this.
You're as confident as can be as soon as you get on the court. Hey, you at the end of the game, you just drill that big three like it's nothing. And everyone that we talked to after said, oh yeah, we knew she was going to shoot it, and we knew that she was going to make it. Why and how are you so confident when you step on the court?
I think confidence comes with the work you put in, and I know I put in a lot of work, and I believe that nobody on that court is putting in as much work as me. So why not believe in my shot? Why not believe in my game? And I feel like as players, it's most important for us to just have that confidence in ourselves, because if you don't have it in yourself, who will?
This team is so deep. I mean, the starters were predetermined before the season, and deservingly so. But then you look at Taryn and you and Gisela, and the list goes on, and you decided to come here for that. How cool is it that you're even getting playing time and important minutes and playing time at that?
Yeah, it means a lot to be able to come compete with these great players. Everybody on our team can play. Everybody on our team is a player. So just being able to contribute and find my piece in this team is great.
That's all I got. I want to thank you for sitting down. We'll be rooting for you the rest of the way.
Thank you.
Man, the confidence in that interview that she showed is the exact same confidence that she plays with. It's pretty crazy.
She's a stud. They have a lot of veteran players, but the future might be bright too.
Oh, definitely. Well, we have another guest joining us. Nick Springer from Rock Chalk Sports Talk is in studio. We're breaking down a pretty polarizing week for KU men's basketball in just a couple of minutes.
The Holton Weather Cam is sponsored by Ellis Boys, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram.
Hi, Clay Sherwood, Swims and Sweeps. I'm here with Frank and Dean, the CEOs of Cute. We have Hearthstone wood-burning stoves and fireplaces. We have electric fireplaces. So let Swims and Sweeps keep you warm this winter.
Fidelity State Bank and Trust, Topeka, empowering customers since 1922.
If you're looking at doing some remodeling to your home, debt consolidation, college tuition, your equity is there. We are offering competitive rates and terms on home equity loans. A great way to let your equity in your home work for you.
Fidelity Bank. We do business right here at home.
You don't wait days for prescription medicine. Why would you wait days for prescription glasses?
At Success Vision, they make the lenses in the store, so you get them in hours, not days.
My no-line bifocals were ready in a couple of hours, and I only paid half what I used to pay.
The eye doctor next door, they take walk-ins, and my eye exam was great.
They really care about the health of your eyes. For the best eyewear experience, you've got to go to Success Vision.
2 pair for $39 in an hour for less. Come see us today, Success Vision Express.
Monday it's
an all-new Kelly!
Yeah! With Kevin James. And from Zorro, Renata Notni. I'm such a foodie person. Do you like pizza?
Look at me and ask that question again.
Monday at 3 on 27 KSNT.
This week's Pets in Need Spotlight is Landon. Landon is a 7-year-old cat who is diabetic. He requires an injection daily, but is doing well on his regimen and is a friendly, happy boy. You can meet Landon at Helping Hands Humane Society.
Don't miss country legend Dwight Yoakam live in concert. April 4th at the Topeka Performing Arts Center. Tickets available at the TPAC box office or Ticketmaster.com.
Welcome back to K-Nation. KU men's basketball had a couple of polarizing games this week, as we've seen already, so now it's time to talk about them.
Yeah, we got the perfect guest for that. Nick Springer, Rock Chalk Sports Talk. If you listen to the radio in Lawrence, you've heard him on there Monday through Friday, every single day. We've had Derek Johnson on, your co-host. Nick, thanks for being here.
Yeah, thanks for having me. I'm really excited to be here. Unfortunate coming off a Kansas loss, but, it is what it is.
At least we have stuff to talk about now.
Yeah.
So let's talk about that loss. They did get the win earlier in the week, so it wasn't all a bad week. Is this league just that good? I feel like we do this every year with KU men's basketball. They lose a few games, maybe they shouldn't, or that people don't want them to, and then people freak out. Is there you got any freak out going over here?
I think there definitely is reason to be concerned about KU right now. I mean, this is tied for Bill Self's worst start to conference play since he's been at KU at 4-3 right now. And you've added a team like Houston that is shown to be a really, really elite team. And I think it's pretty clear that on any given night, any team can beat anybody in the league right now. So that's the real struggle for Kansas. And even more so when you think about KU on the road in the league right now. They've played 3 of their easiest road games earlier in the season, and they were 1-2 in those games. And they lose another one against Iowa State. Now they're 1-3 on the road in conference play. And you look at their final road games they have coming up, they're very, very difficult. Games like Kansas State, Baylor, Texas Tech, environments that are going to be really jacked up to play KU. So, yeah, it's a little precarious position for Kansas. I think basically the loss to Iowa State just essentially means that now their room for error is gone, and they're probably going to need some help on top of that. Whereas if they're able to beat Iowa State, move to 5-2 in conference, and still be in that second position in the conference, they'd feel a little bit better about their situation. But now, of course, with that loss, they're probably going to need to pick up some wins that they maybe aren't favored to win in. And on top of that, probably going to need some other teams to lose, like a Houston and even like a Texas Tech also.
Yeah, obviously that Iowa State game is the freshest on our minds. What's going to be the first thing that you bring up in your guys' show this week?
Oh, man, it'll be tough to not talk about the three-point shooting of Iowa State, right? I mean, in the first half, it was a really high-level game. Both defenses were playing pretty well. And then Iowa State comes out and starts 6 of 6 from 3 in the second half, which is just brutal, right? I mean, Iowa State's already a tough defensive team. They force a lot of turnovers. KU did a pretty good job of actually not turning the ball over, only 12 turnovers in the game. But when you have a team that comes out and shoots the ball like that from 3, especially at home, that's so tough to come back from. And overall, I thought KU didn't really play that poorly against Iowa State. But, I mean, given how Iowa State was shooting the ball from 3, that became very, very difficult. And so I think the three-point shooting will be the first thing to jump out, right? I mean, Iowa State makes 14 threes. Trey King for Iowa State makes more threes than he's made in his entire career, which doesn't even make any sense. So he's like a 20% three-point shooter on his career coming into that game. So some really brutal luck for Kansas there, and I think that's probably going to be the headline. Beyond that, Kevin McCullough was really inefficient for Kansas in the game. It was probably one of his worst games. He made a couple bad turnovers also late in the second half, and he was only 5 of 18 from the floor. So he ended up still scoring, but it was not efficient, which I think really hurt Kansas as well.
So. Yeah, we're going to expect a lot from Kevin. So when he's not an all-out stud, it's unusual. Let's talk a little bit about that three-point shooting. We talked about it off air here. Teams seem to shoot really well against Kansas. And sometimes it's like, how come they always shoot well against us versus is there a common denominator of the three-point defense at some point?
Yeah, it's tough. I mean, I think when you're Kansas, and this is not, nobody's throwing a pity party for Kansas about this, but when you're KU, you're going to get a team's best shot. You're going to get guys really jack up to play Kansas because of the name on the front of the jersey that you're going up against. So I think that factors into it. And, you know, like this game against Iowa State, Kansas, I thought, was doing a pretty good job overall defending. There were a couple times that Iowa State got open, but, you know, like I said, a guy like Trey King, who is a 20% three-point shooter, on the scouting report, it probably says in bold letters, leave him open.
Yeah, don't get out
and then
on
he hits,
him.
you know, 3 or 4. So stuff like that, that's really, really hard to kind of game plan for, right? Like you can't game plan for a guy that's not a three-point shooter to just go off like that, which makes it, I think, extremely difficult for Kansas. But yeah, there was actually an interesting article by Ken Palm that was in The Athletic that kind of talked about the randomness of three-point shooting. And the example he used was Kentucky. They played VMI, and VMI shot, I think, 40% against them. And then VMI played 3 other opponents in their conference and shot like 28%, right? So the question is Kentucky's three-point defense that worse than those low-level conference teams, or is it just more randomness? So there's definitely some randomness involved, and I know probably fans don't love to hear that answer because it's like, well, okay, what do? You just kind of pull your hair out when you see guys go off like that. But yeah, it's tough because, you know, you go back to the West Virginia game, same deal with a guy like Raekwon Battle, who was not particularly great three-point shooter either, about 27% coming into that game. And he hits a bunch as well in the game. So it's definitely frustrating for Kansas. And you know, Bill Self and the players are going to say all the right things like, hey, we need to do a better job defending. But there definitely is some randomness to it. But, yeah, I mean, like, how do you plan for a team to go 6 of 6 and start from 3 in the second half?
Right.
So.
I don't think I've ever hit 6 threes in a row in my life. So.
No, me neither. All right, Nick, well, thank you so much for joining us. We really appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you, guys.
Stay with us. More K-Nation after the break.
Need your fireplace inspected? Make sure you and your family are safe this winter and avoid being a statistic. Certified Fireplace and Chimney now has openings as soon as this week. No need to wait months to be seen. Call or text us today to schedule your appointment.
Hi, this is Voice of the Wildcats, Wyatt Thompson. If you or someone you know is having thoughts of suicide or experiencing a mental health or substance use crisis, 988 provides direct connection to free, confidential, and compassionate support. When you call, text, or chat 988, you will be quickly connected to trained crisis counselors who will listen to your concerns, provide support, and connect you to additional resources if needed. For 24/7 non-judgmental support, just call, text, or chat 988.
Devon James wins.
After a car accident, life gets tough.
At Devon James, we fight for what really matters.
You have your everyday bills and now the accident bills.
You have to get better while you're still trying to get by.
And who knows what's down the road?
So call us at Devon James. We'll fight for everything you deserve.
And you don't pay us anything until we win your case.
That's our no-fee guarantee.
Devon James wins. Call 888-8888.
Hi, folks. Rodney Robertson with Window Design and Remodeling. We recently constructed this addition on this home and added this beautiful deck. We removed the back wall and added 300 square feet of kitchen and dining area. Just look at the difference from before to after. Call Window Design and Remodeling today or visit our website. We are your home remodeling specialists.
Everyone dreams of having a stunning fireplace for their home, so why not make your dream a reality? Certified Fireplace and Chimney specializes in making these dreams come true. And now with in-home renderings and no interest payment plans, it's never been an easier decision. Call or text today.
How about some heartfelt news before we say goodbye for the night? K-State and KU haven't played each other yet in men's basketball this year, but Coach Tang actually already has a win over Coach Self this year, but not on the court in this one. But everyone's a winner in this thing, Laney.
Yeah, we've probably all heard of Kansas City-based t-shirt store Charlie Hustle by now. They had a t-shirt competition this week that included Bill Self and Jerome Tang, with 25% of the proceeds going towards Coaches versus Cancer. The company named Tang as the winner with the most shirts sold.
Pretty cool stuff. Everybody's just happy that Mizzou and Dennis Gates didn't win because they were also in this competition. Also, Arkansas's Eric Musselman was.
Yeah.
What's really cool,
There's
though,
some hatred for it.
all these coaches actually waived their personal licensing fee, didn't get any money from this, and it's some of those coaches, their first custom t-shirts they've been made.
Definitely, and that's why so much of the proceeds get to go towards Coaches versus Cancer.
Yeah, definitely a good cause. Cool. Wildcats and Jayhawks uniting. It's just like K-Nation. Thanks for watching, K-Nation. Join us next Sunday. Join us every Sunday.
Have a great night.
So far, no moment has been too big.
There's no anybody's in our league. Everybody's good.
They were here to see K-State play, and that's what you want, right? You want your crowd to be here to see us, and you want them to be here regardless of who the opponent is.